What's going on, people? It's King Yardy Gaming Network in the building. And I gotta judge this game called Helldivers 2, bro. And I say the things that everybody's afraid to say. Helldivers 2. And people are gonna be in my comment section talking about this is the game design and this is it's supposed to be a hardcore game. Yeah, that doesn't justify bad game design or bad game mechanics. Right? I love the concept of Helldivers 2. You play as this Helldiver trying to defend democracy. You drop in the hot zones. You have power weapons. You have armor that look cool, or roll bombs to help you effectively dispatch of your enemies on the battlefield in the name of democracy. I like that concept, right? My issue is game mechanics, right? And let me get into the presentation of what I mean. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Helldivers 2 confused frustration with hardcore design. First-person review about friendly fire, right? Power weapons, war bonds, ragdolling, weapon sway, and while the game fights its own combat loop. My critique is not the game is hard. My critique is that too many systems fight against the combat the game itself is asking me to play. Now, I'm not telling Helldivers 2 or the devs to change their design. I'm saying anybody that's going to contend to compete with this type of gameplay, don't follow it. It's really and truly, when you look at games like Mass Effect, right? Or you look at games like what was that game? Outriders, or you look at games like Division 2. Has a similar function, like Division 2, you're a division agent, you're into the heat of battle, and there's hardcore modes that make the game difficult, but it doesn't defeat the design of it. It doesn't defeat itself like Helldivers 2. Mass Effect, it has a multiplayer mode or horde mode, but it doesn't defeat itself when it comes to the combat. Same thing with Gears of War. It has a horde mode. I think it has the beta I just played. It has a horde mode and a couple other modes where you're fighting hordes of enemies, but the combat doesn't defeat itself, like Helldivers 2. Right? And it still maintains, because of Gears of War 2, you can friendly fire on people if you're not careful, but it's not stupid like it doesn't defeat its own self or its own logic like Helldivers 2 does. So let me explain, right? Let's get into it. My fault. My core problem. I'm not mad that the game is hard. I'm mad that the game stacks punishment on top of punishment until the challenge feels more irritating than tactical. The battlefield demands fast dispatching of enemies. The game throws swarms, armored enemies, stamina, pressure, ragdolling, and chaos at me all at once. Now, again, I've played Helldivers 2. I've played Outriders. I've played Firefighting Halo. And they can all do that, but still the combat don't defeat themselves. But the tools demand hesitation. Friendly fire, self-damage, weapon sway, overheat, overcharge, weak points, and stratagem danger all slow down the exact response the game is asking for. What the game keep asking me to do? Clear huge enemy numbers quickly, bugs, automatons, squiddies, pressure the squad, close distance, and punish hesitation, right? React while moving. I'm running, diving, reloading, calling stratagems, managing stamina, and trying not to get surrounded, right? Because that's the core gameplay of Helldivers 2. Like, you got to clear these bugs out quickly, and then you're moving. And then now you have stamina issues. By the time you turn around and kill what's in front of you, the enemies have creeped up behind you. And they'll say I have a homeboy that's next to me. He wants to help me, but he has to be careful because he'll friendly fire on me. Using overwhelming firepower, the fantasy is obvious. 4 soldiers backed by heavy weapons, turrets, airstrikes, orbitals, grenades, and futuristic guns. That sounds great on paper. The issue is that the game turns many of these same tools into extra hazards for me and my squad. Helldiver tools creates a battlefield where I need overwhelming firepower that makes overwhelming firepower dangerous to the people using it. That's the contradiction. That is the contradiction. The game tells me to take out storms fast, then punish me for using the strongest tools fast. If a strider or one of those big four-legged bugs or chargers charging at me, right? And then say the only way I'm going to take out the charger quick enough in the heat of battle is to put it on unsafe mode. I charge up to unsafe mode, but because the railgun can blow up and take me out, it causes an issue to fight a charger or strider. And mind you, the bug strider or the squid charger, they move quick. They will creep up on you. And the strider has a shield. So that's going to take me a couple shots from the railgun. And mind you, have other little enemies swarming at you. You have the bugs that jump up on top of you. Then you have the stalkers that turn invisible and sneak up on you at the same time. I got to keep all of this in mind. Meanwhile, trying to clear the enemies. And if I drop a stratagem down, I have to now be careful because I can take out myself and my friends and my Helldiver pod mates that drop with me. Just logic working against logic, mechanics working against mechanics. And I get it. This game came out, I think, when did it came out? During COVID? So during COVID, people didn't have nothing to do. So they just played the best game that was there at the time. So it became popular. It became fun for what it was. But no, when you purchase this game, you make a game like this popular, you make games like this the standard. Friendly fire becomes the whole fight. I understand tactical friendly fire. A slower tactical game can use firing lines, positioning, and communication to make friendly fire meaningful. But here, almost everything can betray the squad. Teammates, grenades, turrets, orbitals, airstrikes, explosions, support weapons, and panic shots can all wipe out somebody out. Say, for example, you drop a turret. What the turret would do, if it's fighting an enemy forward, if it locks onto enemies in front of it, and you're standing somewhere, you don't even have to stand next to it. Right? And say that turret decides to spin on the enemy coming behind you. It'll spin, take you out, and take out 3 of the teammates that's there. Say now you're a teammate, and a bug is about to jump on your Helldiver. You have to be careful on how you use that weapon because it could take out the bug and your Helldiver teammate. Ridiculous. Now I'm fighting 2 enemies: the bugs or machines in front of me, and the equipment around me that can delete the squad if the battlefield shifts by 3 feet. Because it shifts by 3 feet. It will shift by 3 feet. And remember, you're limited on what you can bring on the field. You can only bring 2 stratagems, or if you're the character that likes to use turrets and support weapons, you're very limited on what you can bring. Now you have 4 Helldivers. One Helldiver, he wants to bring orbital strikes. That's his lock and load. That's his thing. That's what he do. And now you're fighting the bugs. The flying booger roach is flying. The walking booger with the 4 legs walking. Everything is coming at you. And it shifts by 3 feet, by 2 feet. What do? If everything you have that you brought with you can take out your squad? Stratagem should feel like support, not another threat. Calling help should relieve pressure. When a squad is from a bomb, turret, airstrike, or orbital should feel like the answer to the emergency. Instead, it often creates a second emergency. Now I have to dodge enemies and dodge a solution we just called down. Turrets are the clearest example. A turret is supposed to protect the area, but when enemies move behind me, the turret can rotate through my position and friendly fire the team. Funny, the first few times, right? Irritating by the fifth. Comedy and good combat design are not automatically the same thing. You see the picture in the background? The stratagem is being called down. The bugs are swarming. Railgun turns the chaos into lost control. Impact is fine. Explosions should feel violent. Being knocked down can make the battlefield real dangerous. The problem is chain and punishment. I get blasted, launch, hit. I get blasted, launch, hit the ground, try to recover. Then get hit again while enemies keep closing the distance. Loss of control stacks with everything else. Friendly fire, stamina drain, swarms, weapon sway, heavy enemy pressure. All become worse when I'm repeatedly taken out of control. Power weapons don't always feel powerful. If I bring anti-armor, I want to feel prepared. I'm not asking to one-shot everything. I'm asking for the right tool to feel like the right tool. Too often it feels like hops on hops. Charge the weapon, manage the risk, control the sway, hit the weak point, do it multiple times to survive the swarm at the same time. That makes a power weapon feel like a chore. The specialized weapon should create an advantage against enemy it is specialized to fight. If I'm using the railgun, let me put my face in this crap. Let me put my face on it. Let me put my face up in. Come on, face. If I'm using a railgun and I'm charging the gun, and I bring that gun because I know this mission gonna have that flipping crusher with the bone motherfucking thug. And the crusher's ridiculous. The crusher got a huge launch distance. The crusher's like Mike Tyson, and he'll swift. By the time he just come around, bam! We be like, well, how the hell he just move across the damn ring like that? That's what the crusher's like. Hold on, let me get a draw of my damn sickle. Hold on. This is, by the way, Black and Mild. This is when you're a boss. Anyway, how do you, like, come on. Then the crusher, then the shit that jumps on and slice you. Then while you're using the double sickle is overheating and burning you. What's the point? Too many mechanics are working against each other, according to the logic of what the concept of Helldivers 2 is. By the way, Halo, just because Helldivers 2 did a concept don't mean you can't do a concept to compete. This is why we're in a capitalist society. You can compete against something. And I already dropped a video doing the pitch about the type of game that you can put similar to Helldivers 2, but make it unique to Halo. That makes so a lot of these weapons feel like a chore, bro. Railgun shows the contradiction perfectly. The railgun wants patience. It rewards careful aim, charge management, weak point targeting, and control. Unsafe mode adds another threat. If I push the charge too far, the weapon itself can punish me, while enemies are already trying to take me out. But the battlefield wants panic movement. I'm being swarmed, stamina is dropping, enemies are jumping, explosions are happening, and I still need a surgical hit. That is not just hardcore. That is precision design colliding with swarm design. Weapon sway makes the railgun problem worse. I get why weapon sway exists. The game wants weapons to feel heavy, physical, and affected by movement. But realism is not automatically good design. If I'm running from a swarm, then turning around with a precision weapon already comes with enough pressure. The game asks for weak point precision and close quarters chaos. Sometimes I don't get the perfect sniper position. Sometimes the armored enemy is right there in my face. I can't tell you the amount of times when I use the railgun and I'm in a position, like support position, trying to take out a strider or something bigger than that. And it might take about 10 hits or 4 hits, even to hit the weak point. And by the time I turn around, another swarm is about to jump on me because I'm pulling the aggro. The mechanic fights the encounter. When movement, stamina, storm pressure, sway, and charge timing all stack together, it feels like too much friction. The double-edged sickle is the same design problem. The concept is cool, a weapon that gets more dangerous as it heats up, but sounds powerful and stylish, right? But it also burns the wielder. So while I'm trying to cut through armor, I'm damaging myself during the same moment enemies are swarming me. Now my power weapon is another enemy. The bug hurts me, friendly fire can hurt me, stratagems can hurt me, and now my own gun is burning me too. Risk reward is not automatically good. A mechanic can be intentional and still feel badly matched to the battlefield. War bonds sell a fantasy that combat does not always support. War bonds are a major reason people keep engaging. The themes, the armor, weapon design, concept look cool. If it wasn't for this, I don't think people would play Helldivers. If it wasn't for those war bonds, nobody would play it. Because the war bonds feel like almost like a looter shooter, almost. Because now you're getting different weapons, or more like an action adventure, right? You get these cool weapons, and then now you have to earn them through the to do the requisition points or whatever you call those things, and it feels good to use. But then now when you put in an application on the battlefield, it's ineffective almost, right? Then the battlefield exposes the gap. A weapon can look elite in the warbond screen and still feel weak. Too situational or poorly matched once I'm in a real mission. This is why disappointment hits harder. The game gets me hyped on the identity of the gear, then the actual combat loops makes me ask why I bought it. The stun crowd control problem, warbond problem, right? So this is, I think, law enforcer, right? The theme makes sense visually. A law enforcement style warbond built around stun control and non-lethal force looks distinct and stylish. But the game I'm playing, but what game am I playing? This is a game about enemies swarming me, armored threats, pushing through pressure, and the squad needing to erase targets quickly. Temporary control is not the same as solving the threat. If a stun grenade buys me a short window, but the big enemy walks it off and the swarm keeps coming, I'm asking, why didn't I bring my killing power? The question isn't design fit. Does this equipment match the actual rhythm of Helldivers 2? Or does it only sound good on paper? And a lot of the war bonds sound good on paper. What fans may say, this is the identity of the game. Friendly fire is intentional. The Railgun requires discipline. Stun is for coordination. You just cannot handle hardcore games. Right? This is what they're gonna say. My response: intention doesn't automatically mean good. Hard does not automatically mean well designed. Mechanic can require skill and still be annoying. I understand the design. I'm questioning the fit. A game can have an audience and still deserve critique. The combat philosophy and punishment philosophy fight each other. Enemy design rewards fast destruction. The strong pressure and high difficulty push me towards speed, firepower, and rapid target elimination. Weapon design often demands restraint. Control the charge, control the heat, control sway, hit weak points, watch the blast radius, and do not take out your own team. Team play wants closeness, but explosion punish closeness. The game encourages squad cooperation that makes many cooperative tools dangerous around the same squad. That is design contradiction. The systems are usually understandable, but stacked together, they work against the game's own combat loop. It's too many things working against the concept. What future developers should learn? Copy the good parts: for player desperation, giant battlefields, cinematic chaos, orbital support, heavy weapons, enemies overwhelming the position. Do not copy the bad lessons. Do not assume players want every mechanic possibly working against them at the same time. Difficulty should test skills, not bury the player in friction. Accuracy, position, timing, teamwork, prioritization, resource management, those are meaningful challenges. My message is simple. Learn from Helldivers 2. Do not blindly copy Helldivers 2. Because a lot of games in the industry tend to do that. You tend to blindly copy something instead of, you could take the core concept of Helldivers, but build your own unique identity around that concept. Difficulty should come from fighting the enemy. I should not spend half the game fighting my own equipment. That line summarizes the overview. Friendly fire, Railgun risk, double-edged sickle self-damage, charge stratagems, robot mismatch, weapons fate, and ragdoll frustration. And with that said, in conclusion, I know the Helldivers fanboys is going to be upset with me, but I don't care. I don't care. I do not care because I'm tired of the gaming industry spitting out games like this. And then people validate the game. And then the market validates the game because I cannot critique it so that other game developers don't do the same thing. The market is not going to reward the game. And then other games just like it is going to come about because it's been rewarded. By the way, this is why I despise Marxism and communism, because the idea behind Karl Marx is that one person should be able to create the one product. It should flow from the one person, right? So now suppose Helldivers 2 is the only person making this type of game. Now all of us are stuck with this type of game. Instead of in capitalism now, under a capitalist structure now, multiple people can create a game around the same concept uniquely to themselves based upon what they think a game should look like. Anyway, this is King Yardy Gaming Network. Like, share, and subscribe.